Am I the asshole for following my 42M wife 27F around for an evening? The title sounds extreme, but here are the details. My wife and I have been together for 5 years. I love her so much that it pains me to write this. The thing is, I was the sole earner for a while and I was happy to provide. I am a software developer at a local startup that has tripled in employees and gone exponential in revenue. We are not having kids, so my wife got bored of being home and doing nothing, so she got a job at a law firm as a paralegal. Enter this attorney, who I will call Brandon. My wife started to bring him up quite a bit. You know when your wife starts talking about something, drops it, and then brings it up again a few minutes or hours later like there was no gap. My wife does that with stories about him. I searched through her Facebook friends list one day for Brandon and saw that they had connected. Okay, then my wife starts going to work happy hours and I am seeing pictures of the guy on her timeline. In most of the pictures she is positioned next to him, holding a drink. Okay, I have gained considerable weight since joining the startup. There is free food provided to us nearly every day. My wife has maintained a really low weight and looks as beautiful as she did at 22. Brandon is more like how I used to be weight-wise. However, I believe I make more money than he does, so here it goes. I take off work on Friday. As my team is nearing the end of our project, I wait for my wife to leave the firm and I see her walking out with Brandon. They get in my wife's car, purchased on my dime, and I follow them for a bit. They go to a local dive bar and it turns out all of her co-workers are there. I see them entering. I wait for hours and everyone eventually leaves. My wife leaves last with Brandon and she takes him home. I do not see any physical contact as he exits the vehicle to go inside his apartment building. At this point, I am sick. I am gutted. I wait at home for my wife and confront her about Brandon. She went insane basically, threatening to end the marriage because I stalked her. She told me she is always the DD for happy hour because she does not drink much, which is true, but she did not address my greater concerns. Aita. Too long didn't he read followed my wife one evening because of her weird relationship with an attorney at the firm she joined. This is way over the line and your wife must be devastated by obvious lack of trust you have in her. This was also bad, especially this part. Brandon is more like how I used to be weight-wise. However, I think I make more money than him. Yikes. It doesn't seem like you have a very high opinion of your wife or your relationship if you rethinking of things so shallow. She has a new work friend and yes, he is only a friend, and that must be wonderful after all her years spent at home. Be happy for her. Apologize, get to couples therapy, and lay off of her. For not having an honest conversation with her like an adult instead of creepily following her. Turns out she had done nothing wrong and you were just jealous and insecure. The worst part is that he saw with his own eyes that she did nothing inappropriate and still went home and confronted her. This is disgusting behavior, and went on about how he feels sick and gutted and nauseous and she is the one that went insane. Utterly divorced from reality. This one. You mention a few times how much money you make and the car she drives on your dime. Being wealthy doesn't mean you own your wife or that you have any right to dictate what she does. She gave you no real reason for you to think she was having an affair. If you had concerns, you should have talked to her about it, not stalk her and then still confront her when you don't catch her doing anything wrong during her stalking. So she made a friend at work, told you about him honestly, and then you decided to stalk her, where you saw her go to a work happy hour and then drop him off at his house perfectly innocently. You real lunatic, and I hope she leaves you ASAP. And that's not even beginning to get into all the sexist bullshit thrown in throughout your post. So much that asshole. You do not trust your wife. Because of your own insecurities, you will end up blowing up your marriage in an epic self-fulfilling prophecy. Seems like that is not far off, and rightfully so. I would not blame her a bit for leaving him over this. This kind of behavior is unhinged. She is not allowed to hang out with co-workers. You observed nothing but normal friendly stuff and yet you confronted her. This marriage is doomed. Sorry my dude. The way you describe this whole thing is as though your wife is a trophy to be won. You weigh more, but make more. Try talking to your wife like an adult before you resort to stalking her. She did not go insane. She reacted to your insanity. What did you have to confront her about? Nothing happened. I can only imagine what your scene confronting her was like. I saw you drop him off and not hug or touch. It sucks to feel insecure, but completely unfair to pawn off the insecurity into her. You were the one driving the wedge between you two for not taking ownership of your emotions. Where is your self-awareness? Therapy could be in order. Sounds like the weight is something you're unhappy with. Why not spend that energy on getting in shape instead of stalking Facebook and going crazy on your wife for making friends, or make more friends of your own? I think I read a book like this once. Next you're gonna hit her and she'll make a grand escape, and then you'll date someone who is 22 and repeat the cycle as if she was cheating the whole time. Oh my god, OP, you should watch you. I don't even understand what were you so sick and gutted about. The fact that you stalked your wife only to find her doing nothing wrong. Here's my bigger question. You mentioned that 1, this guy is more similar physically to how you felt you looked when you first got together as opposed to now. And 2, you think you make more money than him though. So you either think your wife is with you because of your looks or your money. This is not flattering. That's the bigger problem you need to address together. If you keep your focus on this work friend and not on the underlying issues, it'll be difficult for you to come back from this. Be well. My dude, married people can have friends of the opposite sex. I only hang out with one of my co-workers more than others. He is just a cool dude and his wife and 2 children are awesome too. She did not get pissed off that he hung out with me at the company outing today even when we sit next to each other on the office. Grow TF up. She is allowed to have friends that are male and you need to get into therapy to discuss your deep-seated trust issues. This is so messed up. OP follows his wife, sees absolutely nothing and confronts her. OP, if this is how it has gonna be, you're always going to looking for shadows when there are none. I've had this relationship and it was toxic. Do you have any idea how goddamn hurtful this is to your wife? Do you care? Did you for 1 ducking second consider how it felt to be in her shoes, to have someone that loves you make insinuations that she was unfaithful when she didn't do anything wrong? Or did you just want to be right? If you don't shape up, you're going to push her away and it'll end in a divorce. This is creepy at best. A 37-year-old hitting on a 22-year-old is creep enough already. A 42-year-old stalking his 15 years younger wife because she has a male co-worker is not better at all. Confronting her about meeting with all of her co-workers at a bar is literally the you go to heck level 99 instantly card. She did not do anything. Is she not allowed to have male friends? Have you talked to females since you married? Probably not. At least I hope so. This ain't no marriage. This is slavery. Thanks for watching. Consider subscribing for more videos.